What's going on, guys? This is another episode here in Nolan's pod. Now Monday I told you guys that I was gonna give you guys um the other four games that I thought was interesting week one. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. You guys know that I love to break down um the games and everything. And dive deep into everything that happened during whatever game I'm watching or whatever's going on. Um, that I love to give you guys that. In sports, is a good distraction. It really is a good distraction. Whatever you got going on in your life, if you're going through something, you get to sit there for 2 or 3 hours and watch sports and kind of get your mind off of it. And then when it goes off, it's back to reality. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I'm going to talk about today is bigger than sports. This is off the field stuff with a certain player. So as much as I love giving you guys the games and we break it down and we do all that and we dive into the key moments of the games and all that good stuff. We ain't doing that today because, like I said, sports is fun and all, and when you're going through something, you want to tune into sports for 2 or 3 hours to get your mind off of whatever you got going on. So it's like it's a good distract. Sports is a good distraction. But today we ain't gonna be talking about sports. We're gonna be talking about the off the field aspect of it. What I mean by this is I'm not talking about the games today because this is something bigger than sports. This is life. This is life. Real life. A real life situation that went down. So without further ado, I'm going to address the Tyreek Hill situation and my thoughts on it. Okay, so let's get right into it. Initially, we seen probably Sunday morning, or Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, we seen some of the footage. And people kind of gave their opinion. Okay, turn around Monday night? Yeah, Monday night, they released the body cam footage. And we got to see the whole thing. Was it Monday? Because yesterday was Tuesday. Okay, yeah. So Monday night, we seen body cam footage in its entirety. We seen all of it. Now we all free to give our opinion. A lot of people's opinions I don't agree with personally. But the second thing to that is I don't know why all of us in this world looking at this body cam video, I don't know why we all have selective memory. And what I mean by I don't know why we all have selective memory is all of us that have looked at this body cam footage and this video, this whole thing, we should know better. We need to stop being blind to the facts. And we need to know what we looked at when we seen this video, because some of y'all's opinions on what y'all seen on this body cam footage, it's beyond me. It really is beyond me. I'm like, did we look at the same video? Because y'all opinions is just, I don't know if y'all opinions are based on because what y'all think, is it because Tyreek Hill's famous or what? And if he was just a regular person, y'all wouldn't have the same opinions. I don't know if that's what it is. I really do think that's what it is, but I can't really tell you for sure that that's what it is. But my personal opinion is when I seen that body cam footage, the officers come up to Tyreek Hill's window, say this is a normal person, in a normal car. This is a normal person in a normal car. Just for example. Okay, the police come up to his car. The police come up to Tyreek Hill's car. They knock on the window, just a knock. So if Tyreek Hill rolls down the window, any police officer is going to introduce themselves. They're going to say their name. They're going to say what police department they're from. They're going to ask, how you doing? What's going on? And then you address them back, hey, how you doing? What's going on? And they'll say, the reason I'm stopping you is because that's what would normally happen. When the police officer knocked on Tyreek Hill's window, Tyreek Hill would not let his window down. That's the first red flag. The second red flag is you only getting stopped for traffic violations. So why not make the situation, if you're Tyreek Hill, why not make the situation simple? Okay, I'm getting stopped for traffic violations. Let me follow the directions of what they say, and let's keep this process moving, because I'm only getting 2 traffic violation tickets. I'm only getting a ticket on traffic violations. That's it. No big deal. Okay, cool. Was he speeding? I don't know. I think his he had tinted windows, dark windows, and those were the 2 traffic violations. Okay, cool. If I'm Tyreek Hill, I'm gonna roll down my window as soon as the police knock on my window. Let them say what they have to say. They can write up the 2 tickets, and we can keep it moving. I'm going on about my way. I'm heading to the game, because that's what he was doing. He was heading to the stadium. And let them go on about their way and whatever they got going on, whatever they got to do. But instead, this situation got way bigger than what it was. And Tyreek Hill is the main reason for that. The police are not out of the woods either. They could have handled it better also. But Tyreek Hill also made it worse than what it needed to be. So it's not who's wrong and who's really right. Both are in the wrong. Tyreek Hill and the cops, they're both in the wrong. Again, when somebody knocks on your door, this is what happened. They knocked on Tyreek Hill's window, and he doesn't roll down the window. And finally, after several attempts, he rolls down the window. He doesn't like what the police have to say. He doesn't like what the police are saying to him. He like, do what you got to do and all this. He just has a crazy attitude for no reason. So then he rolls the window back up on the police. The police didn't go back to his car. He was still right there. And Tyreek Hill rolls the window back up right in front of the police as he's still talking to Tyreek Hill. That's the third red flag. That's something that you don't do. So after multiple attempts again, he's like, roll your window back down. Like, you can't do that. Tyreek Hill doesn't want to roll his window back down. Next thing you know, okay, it's time to get you out the car. And they throw him out of his car, and it escalates into, hey man, why you doing that? Tyreek Hill's telling the guy on the phone he's getting arrested. They get him out the car, they throw him down. You had that coming to you because you not obeying the law. You didn't want to roll your window down the first time. Finally, after attempts, you did, and then you don't like what they're saying to you. Do you roll it back up? So they pull you out the car and put you on the ground. You don't like how you was put on the ground. You had that coming to you because you're not obeying the law. You making it way more difficult than what it needed to be, Tyreek Hill. At that moment, the police was not in the wrong. Tyreek Hill, you were in the wrong. Now, Calais Campbell, another player that plays for the Miami Dolphins, and Jonnu Smith, another player that plays for the Miami Dolphins, they come pulling up out of their vehicle. I know Calais Campbell was detained and put in handcuffs. Where Calais Campbell went wrong is you pulling up on the scene of an investigation. You're pulling up on the scene of an investigation. Yes, you're looking out for your teammate. You're looking out for Tyreek Hill. I get that. That's all fine and dandy. I get it. But you're pulling up on the scene of an investigation and interfering with an investigation. You cannot do that. Even if you're a normal person. I've seen plenty of, I watch Cops, I watch On Patrol Live, that good stuff. I've seen plenty of people on there try to pull up and intervene in the situation, and you can't do that. You're interfering with an investigation, and you can be taken to jail for that. So that's why Calais Campbell was put in handcuffs, because he interfered with an investigation, and he was just detained. That's another red flag. Now they got Tyreek Hill and the police officers, they got into a verbal dispute. Okay, they got into a verbal dispute. Where the police officers went wrong at is when they were into that verbal dispute. The police officers were sick of hearing what he had to say, because he already had made them mad because he wasn't following directions. So they wasn't trying to hear what he had to say. Even though Tyreek Hill was in handcuffs and it was a verbal argument, the second time they threw him down because they didn't like hearing what he had to say, and he wasn't following directions from the get-go, and he wasn't cooperating from the get-go. So when they got into the verbal disagreement, the verbal argument while he was in handcuffs, they wasn't liking what he had to say. They threw him down a second time. That's where the police officers went wrong at. They threw him down the second time, and he was in handcuffs. They was just talking back and forth to him and the police. They ain't like what he had to say, so they threw him down again. I'll give you that. They went wrong right there because they shouldn't have threw him down the second time, because he was already in handcuffs. Whatever he was saying, they didn't have to throw him down because he's already in handcuffs. He's not a threat to y'all no more because he's in handcuffs. He can't do anything. Now, it's another part that I left out. It's another part I left out. I cannot think of it. I cannot think of it. Oh, yes, okay. They told him, why he's in handcuffs, why they have him in handcuffs. A lot of times, and this is with regular people also, keep this in mind, when you're in handcuffs, when you are placed in handcuffs, they're waiting, the police officers are waiting for the other cars to get there so they can put you in one of those other cars to take you off to jail, possibly. So they might tell you, sit down, chill out while you're in handcuffs. Sit down, chill out. But the suspect, the primary aggressor, I should say, they already ticked off that they're in handcuffs. So them wanting to sit down, they're probably not gonna want to do that 9 times out of 10, because they're ticked out that they're also in handcuffs. And they ticked out that they probably more than likely going to jail. So sitting down and chilling out, they don't want to do that. And rightfully so. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Rightfully so. Tyreek Hill was in handcuffs. They tell him, okay, sit down for a second. Just chill out. He didn't want to sit down. Just do what they tell you to do. Just sit down for a second. Chill out. De-escalate the situation. Diffuse the situation. Tyreek Hill doesn't want to sit down. He doesn't want to chill out while he's in the handcuffs. So that's another reason why they threw him down. Again, the second time. They should not have done that. But he also could have helped his situation by just sitting down, chilling out. Keep in mind, you're not going to jail, Tyreek Hill. You are not being arrested. You're being detained. They're giving you traffic violation tickets. 2 traffic violation tickets. That's it. And you're gonna go on about your way. But how he made this so difficult by not cooperating is, and I don't understand how y'all just gave y'all opinions on this, and y'all watches the full body cam video, but y'all not pointing out the obvious. Is the police are in the wrong, they in the wrong. Tyreek Hill's in the right, and Tyreek Hill's agent is calling for these policemen to be fired when they should not be fired. For what? They were in the right. By them throwing him down the second time, that's where they went wrong. Other than that, they were in the right. I don't know why, and I know that for the last 4 or 5 years, and not even the last 4 or 5 years, for an eternity, for a lifetime, that black people have always been treated unfair by cops. So that's why a lot of people's opinion in this situation are like the cops are wrong. But in this situation, the cops were not wrong. They were only wrong for throwing Tyreek Hill down the second time. A lot of people's opinions are based on how we as black people have been treated by cops over an eternity, over a lifetime. So that's what a lot of people's opinion is based on. And I get that. I'm all for that. I stand with you guys on that. We have been treated like crap by the cops for a lifetime, for an eternity. I'm with you guys on that. And that's probably why y'all opinions are like how they are. But Tyreek Hill did not help his situation. And these police officers don't need to be fired because Tyreek Hill had an attitude from the get-go. Wouldn't let his window down. He lets his window down. Doesn't like what they're saying to him. Rolls his window back up in front of them like it's nothing. And then they yank you out of the car. And then you crying because they don't yank you out the car. Well, you had that coming to you. It's common sense. And I don't know if y'all opinions is based on because he's famous. You know what I'm saying? Because if that was a regular person, y'all will all be the first ones to say, oh, well, they should have cooperated. Well, they should have followed directions. But I'm just guessing because Tyreek Hill is well known. Y'all opinions is different for some reason. And that's where this selective memory comes from for some reason. Famous or not, you still got to comply with the laws. And you still have to cooperate. You still have to follow the laws. Because you famous, that don't make you above the law. That does not make you above the law because you famous. That's where a lot of celebrities get it twisted at. Because they famous, they above the law. You are not above the law. You are a human being just like us regular people are. You still have to follow the law too. And I think that comes into play too. But for you guys' opinions and y'all selective memories, like it's just all the police officers' fault and Tyreek Hill did nothing. Tyreek Hill has spoke out on the situation, of course. And not one time have I heard him take any accountability for his actions. It's just all the police were in the wrong. I don't know why I was detained. I don't know why they threw me to the ground. What you mean you don't know why? You didn't comply. You didn't comply. So, it's just beyond me. This whole entire time, Tyreek Hill has not taken accountability for anything, has not owned up to anything. When you are a man and you make mistakes, own up to what you did. Don't run from it. Don't run from it. Just own up to what you did like a man. Not one time has Tyreek Hill owned up to what he did. Just own up to what you did, bro. It's all good. You got your traffic tickets. 2 traffic tickets. That is all good. Own up to what you did and keep it moving. Say I was in the wrong or whatever. Own up to what you did. That's my gripe. That's what I have a problem with. Tyreek Hill wasn't in the right, and the police weren't in the right. So both in this situation were wrong. And Calais Campbell and Jonnu Smith can't be coming up in the middle of an investigation and interfering with the investigation. They were in the wrong also for interfering with the investigation because you can't do that. You are not allowed to do that. This was bigger than giving you my opinion on the sports game. This was bigger than that. This was about life and life outside of sports and where things can go wrong in an instant if you don't follow directions. They teach you in kindergarten. They teach you in school to follow directions. This is the same thing. Follow directions. But that's all I have for you guys today. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys' opinion on this situation is. It's very delicate. It's a very delicate topic, and you guys might not have the same opinions I have on this. And that's okay. We can always disagree. We're not going to always agree with each other. But, you know, it's just common sense.